Hey guys, I'd like to talk about something today. Why was everyone released and cleared so quickly in the Idaho 4 case? And why did Olivia Gonzalez come out way before Stephen Christie in vouching for Jack? Why is that? I mean, yes, Jack was Kaylee's ex, but why come out so quick to vouch for him way before people was cleared immediately? And why were people cleared so quickly without even verifying their alibis? That's something that's really, really odd to me. I mean, you had a quadruple homicide with everyone a suspect. Jack, Adam from Corner Club, Dylan, Bethany, plus a wide variety of other people, but yet they were all cleared so quickly. And you have Olivia Gonzalez coming out and vouching for Jack, just way before her parents did. And did everyone see the look that Steve G gave Jack at the celebration of life? It was almost like Jack was saying, I have your wife wrapped around my finger. And Steve G, you could clearly tell he was upset about something because he shoved his tongue into his cheek. Like he knew somehow Jack was involved, but he didn't know, right at that moment off the top of his head that he was involved. But it was just a look that they gave each other, that very awkward look. And I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain it. It's just everything in this case is so odd. And then, of course, you have this from a few days ago.
Are you from Kansas? If so, you can get a free Dove Samples Pack to test. Simply answer a few questions to receive a free gift delivered to your doorstep. There's no need to enter credit card information.
Shannon, this is...
Yeah, I know it's muted. Hold on.
Glad that you are there to help this family through this. What is your take in your investigation of the Idaho student murders? I think back to when this story first broke and the thoughts that went through my mind, which I think went through the minds of a lot of parents out there who have sent their children off to college. We worry, but we usually worry about things like grades. Will they get homesick? Will they make friends? Are people being nice to them? Worries that they're real worries, but they're not worst case scenario. And that's what happened at Idaho for 4 families. Here's the story.
4 students were brutally murdered in their home near the University of Idaho. Kaylee, Maddie, Ethan, and Xana taken away so young. And now their accused killer has been charged and is preparing for trial as prosecutors seek the death penalty. It is the case the nation is waiting to see and waiting for justice. But what about the victims' families? How are they dealing with our slow-moving system? We'll find out as Kaylee's mom joins us live as we continue to investigate the Idaho student murders.
Now, the families have shown incredible strength throughout all of this, but each family has their own journey that they're taking. And at one of the memorials that took place, we got to hear from the Gonzalez family, Kaylee's family. I think it touched a lot of people. I wanted to show it to you one more time.
Now, guys, let's remember who we do this for. We do this for Xana, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee.
It's amazingly tragic, obviously, but then the story and the case moves into our system of justice. And that brings me to our question, which is, it's a big one. What is justice here? What is justice for the families? Let me bring in our special guests, the mother and father of Kaylee Gonzalez, Steve and Christy Gonzalez are with us, as well as the attorney representing the family, Shannon Gray. Thank you all so much for being here. I know this is never easy, but I think the nation has seen the strength of your family, Christy and Steve. And as you sit here tonight, what is justice for you? What is justice?
That's a hard question that we've thought a lot about. Sometimes I feel that there is no justice.
Sometimes she feels there is no justice. Now, what does she mean by that, guys? I mean, isn't the alleged supposed killer behind bars right now? Even though I don't believe that he did it. There's a lot of other people that don't believe he did it. But what does she mean by, in her own opinion, there's no justice?
Nothing's going to bring the kids back. And therefore, the only thing that would be justice for me is for this person to be living in agony in the depths of hell.
I know that there's a lot of families who don't actually get somebody that is actually charged for it. So I do feel that we are lucky in that standpoint. And a lot of detectives and investigators put in a lot of hard work, and we're lucky to have that, and we want to be appreciative for that. It's a long, slow process, but we're willing and we're ready to do that. We're ready to put in the time and the effort and get through this, and just show people that this is the way that we can see justice in action, see the truth being taken in place, and then the right outcome, and society gets back to normal.
Truth? What truth? You have somebody sitting in jail right now who is being accused of this. Mind you, he's only accused. He hasn't been convicted. or anything like that. But in the eyes of the mainstream media, he's already guilty, even though it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. And mind you guys, the trial has not started yet. And you're going to hear from the Gonzalez family that a majority of them already have an impact statement written for the day this guy is sentenced. And it hasn't even gone to trial yet. So why write a victim's impact statement before this is even gone to trial?
Shannon, this is a difficult journey, an absolutely difficult journey. That's why I'm so glad that you are there to help this family through this. What is your take so far on how our system of justice is doing in this case?
It's a it's a tough question because it's a small jurisdiction. Working on a much larger jurisdiction where things move a lot faster. You think things are going to move a certain way, and sometimes they don't. So it's been difficult for the family because a lot of times I'll say this is how A, B, and C should happen, and they don't happen that way. I have to explain why it didn't happen, and why it's taken so long, or it's taken longer than usual, or why the prosecution or the defense have done things that they've done. But I'm small compared to what Steve and Christy go through every day. I'm just thankful that they found me, that I can help them and answer any questions I can about them, and ease their minds when their minds need to be eased about the criminal justice process and what's going on. I mean, they're always going to be a part of my life, and I love them to death. So,
Christy, what are the plans for the trial when it happens?
Well, we'll know more at the end of this month when the change of venue is heard and is decided. We plan on being there. We want to be there. There's about 10 of us in the family that intend on being there for most of it. Obviously, there's going to be days that we will not be there intentionally for, but we're hoping that it stays in Latah County. So, that's a 2-hour drive for us. The further counties that they're looking at would make it hard. So we would have to relook at things. But we want to be there.
Steve,
we intend to be there.
Steve, as you have been on this journey now, it seems like forever, I'm sure, for you. Do you see any light at the end of the tunnel? Do you see that, hey, at some point, this page will turn?
I think of it as this is a living example of how we get things right again. Latah County did everything. The reason this is so slow and this process is taking so long is because they tried to do everything exactly by the book so that the community could see the justice, they could see it.
Did they really do everything exactly by the book? We're on our 16th motion to compel. 16th. Is that really doing everything by the book? And why is the prosecution not wanting to turn over the IGG? Is that doing it by the book? Is that why Bill Thompson filed a protective order for the IGG and the DNA? Is that doing it by the book? Come on, don't give me that by the book nonsense. I mean, even with the DNA, you have Chief Fry saying that they were in the bounds of the law. Now, So did they go outside the bounds of the law to get the DNA? Did they go outside the bounds of the law to get the arrest warrant? I think they did. I think they went outside the law to get the arrest warrant, and only, and I repeat, only when they filed the arrest warrant and had this guy in custody, that's when they did the buccal swab.
And it wouldn't have to be taken, Idaho's a large state. It wouldn't have to be taken, 6-7 hours away. So I look at this as a living example of the way we correct things. When things go wrong, when things fall off the rails, like you said, you send your kids off to college, the last thing you should think of is anything other than your kid being a dumb kid and doing something embarrassing to get them on a camera or something that you're going to see at your employer the next day. That's like really bad. And for murder, for death, that's just not, that can't be new normal. That can't be something that we accept as a society. So I think we can be a living example for everyone, how we can course correct and figure this thing out and hold somebody accountable and
course correct. We have to course correct. Now, if you heard what he said a minute ago, kids doing something dumb on camera. I'll even go back for you guys.
Did everything. The reason this is so slow and this process is taking so long is because they tried to do everything exactly by the book so that the community could see the justice, they could see it, and it wouldn't have to be taken. Idaho's a large state. It wouldn't have to be.
Now, if you listen to what Steve says here about dumb kids,
taken, 6-7 hours away. So I look at this as a living example of the way we correct things. When things go wrong, when things fall off the rails, like you said, you send your kids off to college, the last thing you should think of is anything other than your kid being a dumb kid and doing something embarrassing to get them on a camera or something that you're going to see at your employer the next day. That's like really bad. And for murder, for death, that's just not, that can't be new normal. That can't be something that we accept as a society. So I think
that can't be a new normal. So Steve knows something. He's dropping us hints. Because every time they do an interview with Steve, he has some new hint to drop. We just got to decipher it and figure out what it is, what that hint is. And he talked about dumb kids being caught on camera, and then your employer finding out about it the next day.
We can be a living example for everyone, how we can course correct and figure this thing out and hold somebody accountable and, show that this is just a one-off that, won't happen and it's nothing new normal.
Christy, are there moments where you can have happy memories? Are there moments where you can smile and think about Kaylee?
Oh, absolutely. You can't think about Kaylee and not smile, and we have so many happy memories and so many videos and so many pictures. And I look at them all the time. It's those late nights that get you, and you think of the tragedy that unfolded. And, it's terrorizing, it's traumatizing. But there are happy moments. There are.
Steve, if this gets the conclusion that we're all hoping for, which is the truth comes out and there's a conviction, are you prepared to make an impact statement?
Yeah, I just know my family. I know my kids. They're all strong. They're all intelligent, super smart. Every one of them has already wrote it out. They've already got set in stone. So
They already wrote it out. They already got it set in stone. But yet, this guy hasn't even been to trial yet. So with this statement right here, they're throwing it out. They're throwing it out to you. We think this guy's guilty. We don't give a darn what anyone else thinks. We think he's guilty. Innocent until proven guilty, be darned. That's what they're saying with this statement, that they already have their victim impact statements wrote out way before the trial and the sentencing.
yeah, we're willing to and just thank the community and thank all the people who've put their lives on pause so that we could have that moment, so we could have the justice, because it doesn't just happen by accident. And we've got people like Shannon in our life. It's amazing what we've been able to see, how people have shown love to our family and reached out to us and flooded us with letters and different things. So yeah, I feel an obligation to all the people that have been with us this whole time. And that's why there's that sense of pressure that, this has got to turn out a certain way. And we're looking forward.
That's why there's that pressure that this has got to turn out a certain way. That is a very eye-opening statement coming from him.
Forward to seeing that turn out.
And Shannon, do you expect any problems with all the victims that want to speak being able to speak if and when we get to that part of this case?
Yeah, that was an odd occurrence that happened over in the Lori Vallow trial, where the judge was pretty, strict or adamant about following the statute when it came to who could speak and give victims impact statements. Most of the time, the immediate family and those things will be able to speak. The judge may put down, his foot when it comes to grandparents and other things that under the statute currently aren't maybe allowed unless they're serve as a representative for the family. But I'm hoping that the whole anybody gets to speak what they want to. There's a reasoning to it, but I don't see there being any problems in this case. So
that's good to hear. Shannon Gray, thank you so much. Christy and Steve Gonzalez, our thoughts are with you, and that the nation's thoughts are with you, and our best to all of your family. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we've got more.
What is going on in this case? You heard it straight out of Steve G's mouth himself. They are pressuring for the outcome that they want. Just like you have Jack Showalter, Maddie, and Kaylee walking down the street. And you could hear in that clip, Maddie, what did you tell Adam? I told Adam everything. And you could hear Jack S., they're going to get you for this. And then you noticed in that picture, Kaylee texting very feverishly on her phone like she knew that they were in trouble. She knew something was going to happen that night. That's why she was texting constantly at the grub truck. I'm not saying the frats are involved in this, but there is something nefarious behind this all. What did you tell Adam? I told Adam everything. They're going to get you for this. Who is they? Just like this picture right here. Who is that they're talking to? Is that Jack D? But it doesn't look like Jack D. And you have Adam over there in the corner, along with Jack S. That's Jack S with the backwards hat on. So what's going on in this case, guys? There's cover up going on. There is. There is cover up going on. And why hasn't the 3 unknown male DNAs been tested? Why haven't they been tested? And why won't they turn them over to Ann Taylor? This case makes me want to pound my fist sometimes because I can see the corruption. I can see the cover up. You know, you have the prosecution stealing everything up. You have the prosecution throwing a temper tantrum over a jury survey. Now answer me this. There was an 8-hour delay calling 911, but yet a woman called the sheriff's department because her son got a jury survey. So, and she called the sheriff's department over a jury survey. But yet we have 4 innocent souls unalived, and there's not a 911 call. They wait 8 hours to call 911. They call everybody else over first. That's not corruption. That's not a cover up. What they do in that 8 hours? I hope that Bethany and Dylan testify so Ann Taylor can rip them to shreds on the witness stand on why they didn't call 911 for 8 hours. Like always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you share my channel. Hit that bell notification for any new uploads. This is TCC out.